Welcome back to the continuation of our season preview, and we had already discussed regarding the Premier League and the Bundesliga. So now we move on to one of the most competitive leagues over the last few years. Like very unpredictable scenes are happening.
Fair.
And from the fall of the old guard, which is Juventus, and their stronghold of 9 consecutive titles, to a brief stint of fresh air when Inter won, and to the surprise of Napoli, who finally won a Scudetto, I think, after Maradona was there in the club.
Yep.
And again, and also the Milan finally winning this thing, only to be again
going back into mediocrity.
Yeah, mediocrity, and also behind their rivals Inter. So yeah, as you all know, last season I think it was pretty much straightforward because Inter actually ran away with the league at one point. They were too good, even though they were people would have expected a little more of them from the UCL also, but they didn't perform there well. I think they picked up where they left off last year and actually got a really solid start. Coming to favorites, I guess I have a very hot take here because I think this year is the year I think Juventus finally sorts it out and makes a comeback, and I strongly believe they can.
They have the potential.
They have the potential to win, because it's the first time I saw so much intent in a Juventus team over the past few years, and I'm saying because the way they started last season was extremely poor, and then they had the points deduction. But somehow towards the end they managed to get into the UCL spots, so that was a very big deal. And they, along with it, they entered supposedly mediocre season. They ended it up with winning the Coppa Italia also. So now they're in for another. The Super Coppa Italia is also about to happen.
So doesn't that qualify them for the most improved and not the favorites, or are your most improved and favorites the same thing?
I'm telling you favorites because
they're consistent.
Yeah, they're that was a different team I saw in the second half, and I think that team has potential. That's why I told this is a very hot take.
So that sacking was necessary in your opinion? We are diverting a little bit off topic, but
yes,
change of the manager was necessary.
Yes.
Interesting. I thought that these guys are doomed, but like you said, they didn't make a comeback.
I mean it did work out for them. If it could have gone either way. I think in the beginning, if we would have thought, okay, what are they doing right now? Again, they're going to change the manager. They're building their own doom. But what happened was their game improved in the second half of the season, and justification was that Coppa Italia trophy also. From nowhere they came there. Whether their points deduction got reversed or not, or psychologically it would have affected the team, the whole dressing room, and from that to come there that requires a mentality. And the reason I'm saying Inter is that Inter, despite winning the league, are not anywhere near stable financially, because they're still owned by that I think that loaning Chinese company, which are still under debt, and they are using Inter to pay off a lot of money. So there's no guarantee. I don't know how they're managing till now. It is very good, but that is if you're not fan, that is like a stack of cards waiting collapse. It happened to Milan in early 2010s, when they won the league in 2011. Each year onwards they started falling, because outside they might look like a very league. They had very promising players in future, but inside the financial stability was so bad that they started collapsing from inside. In the end, it took all them almost another 11-12 years to win another Scudetto. So that's why, so I think Juventus are let's say the favorites to win.
Next,
and
team that you think will surprise everyone.
Team I think will surprise everyone, I'd say, is Atalanta.
Interesting.
Okay, so Atalanta didn't have a winning start. Okay, and I don't think they won't I don't think they'll be very good in the UCL as such, but I think if they focus solely on the league, I think they can and will be able to finish at least in the top 3 or top 4, because as you already Inter and Juve.
Team actually, Atalanta
It's
has
a very good team Atalanta right now, and they also I think haven't lost most of the core players that they had last season, and the way they won the Europa League was the main highlight last season.
True.
Okay, and they beat all the favorites. Okay, nobody put them as favorites, but they ended up winning by beating each one of the favorite teams, including Liverpool and Leverkusen, quite convincingly. So I think it is there. I think probably it's a starting trouble right now, their first few games, and I think they should be able to come back better. And coming to so dark horse and most
Atalanta.
okay, I'm getting confused with the terminology. So that is dark horse.
Now most improved on paper.
Okay, so most improved on paper. Can I put two teams in the same thing?
Sure, why not?
Again, I'll put it Juventus.
Okay.
Because given how they were like few years back, I thought, okay, this is going to turn out into some sort of another United case, like fall from glory, like
fair. They did look like that with all their financial trouble, that uncertainty around the club.
Lot of uncertainty. Their president being involved in the European Super League, he had he stepped down as the chairman of the ECA. Lot of problems were there, and Juventus, they're not new to any of this controversy. They did get relegated in the 2004-5 I think season into the second division because of some corruption scandals regarding the referees. 3 clubs were involved, I think so, Milan, Fiorentina and Juventus. Okay, Fiorentina I have doubt. I think 3 clubs were involved, but Juventus got the majority of the grunt, and they got points reduction and they got relegated. But surprisingly, they did came back. The moment they came back, they were on full cylinder, and they ended like a streak of Inter dominance at that point. So the reason I am telling is
this was at Mourinho's Inter time, no?
Yeah, at the end of the day, Juventus, if we leave the Milan's UCL title, Juventus are like financially and historically, domestically at least, the biggest team in Italy. And I think they have the most fan base also, I guess, and also their owners are among the richest in the country as well. So that is what I have to say about
team that needs most improving.
Team that needs most improvement is definitely AC Milan. Because after they've won the league, okay, I'll put AC Milan, I'll put Roma also there. Okay, and I'll put Napoli somewhere in between AC Milan and Roma, because AC Milan, especially after they won the league, everybody was expecting them to go an uphill journey, but nobody was expecting them to go that low.
The fall was,
and even after they win their league, their performance in the UCL was abysmal, not at all inspiring, like that, like okay, they are like a top
not up
team.
To their legacy at least.
Yeah, I don't think they've I didn't expect them to reach that level of this thing, but at least I'd be little competitive, try and compete for trophies. That also did not happen. And same again with Roma. I thought, okay, finally them winning a trophy, I think they won the Conference League under Mourinho. Okay, that could motivate for future squad building and trying seriously for some trophies.
I don't know who sacks Mourinho. It makes no sense. No team that has sacked Mourinho, bar Real Madrid, has done well after he left. So.
And then they did end the last year's season with little positives. De Rossi actually performed went deep into the Europa League competition, and actually because the teams they lost to were actually genuinely very good teams, that's why they couldn't progress further into the competition. So these are 2 teams who need to improve, I'm assuming, given the stature. Milan obviously because of the legacy of the team and the stature of the club, and especially also they need to because their arch rivals, the club that stemmed from them, the Revolutionary Club, okay, they are doing better than them. I think at least if it should be hurting their ego at this point, and they should be reacting to it. And that is pretty much this thing. Obviously you will have your Lazios, Napoli's there, Napoli, I think that season was like a
Fluke.
not fluke, I'd say, like
One off.
You saw that in the next year itself, how badly they defended their title. I think they fell off very badly last year, and they one is like Inter was very good. Okay, even in the year Napoli won, also Inter was very good. But the fact that they got that title so convincingly, and nobody else, people are expecting Napoli at least to put up a fight, which was not there. Makes me question also. And also, given their start to this season also, I do not think that unless like a major turnaround happens, that they'll be able to win the Scudetto again. And Napoli also have known for like reaching very close and missing on the title. So, and also the fact that I think a lot of their star players are leaving. I think recently I saw Osimhen being linked to another Saudi club, Al Ahly. And Saudi raid is going on everywhere, like
Saudi raid.
They're not even joking also. They're actually going for young players, like top players who are about to enter their peak.
No, maybe they only propped the idea of Club World Cup to people. They're like, we need Champions League, but we know Champions League have, so we need more. Yeah, it's a possibility. I know it's a conspiracy theory, football conspiracy theories, but yeah.
And also the fact that I think this guy, the Georgian Maradona, as they call it, Kvaratskhelia. Okay, he did have a decent Euros game, but then last season for Napoli was not at all like up to the mark that we saw him, and like up to the hype that was built around him. Hopefully he can turn it around, but I don't think that won't be enough. Inter on paper are the strongest squad. Okay, I gave Juventus based on purely on my instinct, and I think the path they are going, it is possible to have it, not impossible, but Inter are the strongest squad, I'm no doubt in it. What is your take on this?
They will be much more shorter.
Okay.
I watch even less of the Serie than I watch Bundesliga, but I do watch Inter, and they have been my favorites for a very long time. I personally like the Milan club more, but Inter, yes, off late they are the better side, honestly, and I think in the league right now they seem the strongest on paper and on field, and their results speak for themselves. So yes. I don't expect any big surprises. So like how I played Manchester City is going to watch the league, I think Inter also will do it. Yeah. But like Jithu said, maybe Juventus does have an outside chance. They might be the underdogs here trying to surprise people. So the next obvious would be for people who might surprise people. I think that would be Juventus, because like he said, we are not expecting them to immediately do something great, but they are definitely on the right track and they are making visible progress at this point. So it would not be a surprise if they overachieved their targets that they set for themselves, because I don't think in their boardroom they're talking about winning the UCL or the league right now. But they're going to try, they're going to give their best shot. So
the reason I'm telling is like we're not talking about league on later, because PSG, like the moment that they went off the radar, or when they all got off the spotlight, is actually benefiting them. I don't know if any of you are seeing what they're doing right there. They're building a solid team based on whatever resources is there without splashing money, and it is working. And it actually helps when spotlight is less on.
Brilliant squad though.
Yeah, it actually helps when spotlight is less on.
And they have an excellent manager.
Yeah. Juventus was in the spotlight much like PSG, okay, when because of Ronaldo and all this thing, it didn't work out as much as you would have liked. Obviously, they did won the Serie once, but the decline started there itself. Then Ronaldo went, then the blame game started. People started hating Juve. Then the corruption problem happened. Then they had like problems in financial fair play, like overspending a lot. So in search of like publicity, and I mean they did get that publicity. In search of that, they forgot what they were. What is the thing like? They forgot to realize in the like how to win. I think this staying
looking at you, Barcelona, looking at you.
This staying out of the radar right now. Like now, Juventus, nobody talks. I think last year nobody talked about Juventus.
True.
Okay, they were like not even mentioned for anything. Like okay, Juventus, historical club. That's all. Inter were the only like serious Italian team, and the only reason like Italy had like proper like I think they also got the 5th UCL spot after Bundesliga is because the teams below that, like in the Europa League and Conference League, all Italian teams were playing very well, and that is why they were getting the coefficient points. But if you look at the UCL, there was no standout performance.
Especially from Italy, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Inter maybe.
Inter was the furthest I think they went. I think Inter also they only reached, if I'm not wrong, not quarter or round of 16. If I'm not wrong, they haven't gone beyond the quarter in last season.
They went to final, no, 2 seasons back or something.
I'm telling you the last season. I'm telling. So last season, so. Yeah, so Juventus is even like if Inter was like the Juventus even more under the radar. So I think it could benefit them. Okay, like with the media out of them, like people having like expectations. So the players right now, the current crop, like it's very young squad, which is uncharacteristic of Juventus, and it could help them go under the radar, and suddenly out of nowhere they could be like challenging for the title. Or it could backfire also, whichever it is. So yeah, now moving on to the
team that I think surprised everyone is Juventus.
Yeah.
Team that seems most improved on paper, also Juventus.
Yeah.
Team that needs the most improvement, obviously AC Milan. That is the club that I like in Italy. Yeah. Other than them, I like Roma because of their history.
Yeah.
I've always liked Roma. Roma has always been that club with that old school romantic kind of a feeling. You see them play. I mean, the whole of Italy plays one very boring kind of football. I'm sorry, but that's the truth.
Also, like apart from the prediction, I think this will be the first year I think they won't play in the San Siro. Last game, San Siro won't be
shared between the Milan sides.
Like it won't be featured at all. So if you don't know, San Siro is basically a municipality stadium, comes under the township or the city there, and so both clubs do not own the stadium, and hence they did not renovate it because there were like a lot of procedures and the city was not allowing, or they were asking for a lot of money from the clubs and clubs are not willing. So what they're trying to do is they're going to build a new stadium.
Inter is already I think halfway there.
Yeah. No, they're going to share the same stadium also.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
I thought they have an Inter-exclusive stadium.
Yeah, that is the best part. Both of them are going to use the same stadium again.
That is beautiful. At least there's
the reason there could be because of Inter, like financial reasons also. Because Inter are like not like that stable as I told earlier financially. Like it could suddenly change if new investors come in or the group changes, or it could collapse. So they do want a stadium, and one way of generating a lot of money, as if we look at Tottenham Hotspur's stadium right now.
Oh, that is a
the moment that stadium launched, it's stupendous. At least the revenue like skyrocketed. Suddenly they are in the like top 10 or like top 8, like at least in terms of commercial revenue, commercial and stadium revenue, it increased because of the stadium.
True.
So I think both the Milan clubs are going to cash, because if they have their own stadium, they can set up their own stalls, more freedom to do, because they don't have like to government's regulations. Okay, you can only do this, you can only have stalls outside. So a lot of regulations that were happening in San Siro.
Fair.
Yeah, so
that brings an end to our Serie A coverage. We will now move on to the last European League.